Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of PoCommunity. I'm Mike Garboit, and on today's episode we're welcoming Kat and Clint Hiles from Doughnut Love. They're a donut shop that just creates absolutely amazing donuts. They put a ton of passion and energy into it, and they're going to tell us why they decided to leave their comfortable jobs to run their own family donut shop. I'm sitting here with Clint and Kat Hiles from Doughnut Love. How's it going, guys?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
Excellent, thank you.
Thank you for coming in. I'll tell everybody that's watching right now, these guys are next level when it comes to what they do. So I want to just bring you their story because I can't tell you how good their donuts are. But yeah, tell me a little bit about Doughnut Love, how it came to be.
Yeah, sure thing. First of all, thank you so much for having us in today. We do appreciate it. So I worked for 20 years as an investment advisor. My last 10 years spent with RBC, and Kat has been in sales pretty much her whole career. Well, she started off as a legal assistant, but then moved into sales. So for the last 15, 20 years, we've both been in sales. And after 20 years as an investment advisor, I just had lost my passion for it. I wasn't really demanding the best of myself, and it's just hard to look at yourself in the mirror when you wake up every day and you know you're not giving your best. So I decided I was going to retire and do something else. Didn't know what that was going to be, but figured it out. So that was in 2020. So 2020, April of 2020. By June, still hadn't figured it out, and it was Father's Day. So Kat said, "Hey, what do you want to do for Father's Day?" And I said, "Let's go down to Lucky's downtown. Let's go get some donuts because I love donuts. Let's go to Lucky's, get some donuts, get some coffee, and just kind of chill out, have a nice, relaxing Father's Day morning." So we go to Lucky's, go in, big lineup, get our donuts. We get 3 donuts, 2 coffees, and a hot chocolate for our daughter. And it's like $33 or something. I'm thinking, okay, they must have made a mistake, but there's a big lineup, so I'll just get our donuts and go sit down and figure out where they made the mistake. And so got our donuts, got our coffee, went and sat down and looked at the bill, and there's no mistake. That's what 3 donuts cost. I'm like, holy smokes, that's a good business. But that was sort of the end of that thought. And then we're driving home, and I'm thinking, it's such a pain that we got to drive all the way to Vancouver to get good donuts. Like, I wish somebody would open up a decent donut place in Coquitlam. And then the thought came to me, why don't we open up a franchise? Let's approach them. Maybe they're interested in opening a franchise. And then that became, why franchise, right? In Coquitlam, nobody knows who, a lot of people know who Lucky's is, but there's really no harm in trying to do our own thing, using that model and creating our own donuts. So from there, 20 years in finance business, always great in the kitchen, but no background in baking or anything. So set out learning how to bake. So went to the Culinary Institute of America, went to their pastry chef program, figured out what the textbooks were, ordered all the textbooks, all the ones I thought would be relevant, and just basically taught myself how to bake. Start with basic breads and just kind of moved up from there until we got to donuts, and then started perfecting donuts, pulling up different recipes, playing with different recipes. So for about a year, we worked in the kitchen at home, frying donuts in a little pot about this big, 3 at a time, and making dozens of donuts. And just slowly refine the process, figured it out. When I got to a point where I sort of knew what I was doing, brought in a professional pastry chef, a gentleman by the name of Aaron Sermon, the Sugar Wizard on Instagram. Really great guy, taught me a ton, really helped me, took me to that next level. Taught me everything you don't learn in textbooks, all the little tricks and tips and things that you just learn over time that you're not going to find in a textbook. And so that really took me to the next level. And then this whole while we were out looking for properties, trying to find a place, people were like, why don't you open up a food truck? Let's just do a food truck or do a food cart. And we're like, no, we had a concept or a vision in our head that we wanted to have this store. And so finally we found the space originally where we're at now, but it's already leased by another coffee company. And then so we kept looking, and then our realtor called us and said, hey, listen, the franchisee backed out. It's COVID, they're nervous, they don't want to take the space. And the coffee company can't find a replacement. So the place came up. We jumped on it because the location is great, very central, very, very close to home. It's literally 15 minutes from home, 15-minute walk from home, a 5-minute drive from home. And the rest is history. The irony is, the funny thing I always say is we decided we're going to open this donut shop. We're like, oh, how hard can it be, right? It's his famous last words. And it's been a real journey, but an amazing experience. You learn so much anytime you jump into a new business. For all of our lives, we were employees. We worked for somebody else, and you kind of fall into that sort of lifestyle. And when you're your own boss and you run your own business, it's a completely different world. And the amount that you learn in the first year is just amazing.
Oh, it's insane.
Amazing. You'll know.
Yeah, it's absolutely dumbfounding.
Mhm.
It's just like it hits you like a ton of bricks how much you really have to do. It doesn't
Mhm.
matter really what the business is. As business owners, it's a 24/7 job, right?
It is, and if you stop and think about it, it could be overwhelming. I think that's what prevents a lot of people from getting into it, right?
Yeah,
But if you just put one foot in front of the other and just go for it,
yeah.
it all seems to work itself out, right?
Yeah, and I don't think there's any regret trying something like this.
No,
There's
no.
always what you did before. You can go back to it, but if you're not happy doing it, trying something new and doing it for yourself and your family, like that's I think like that's what I'm going through right now. Leaving stuff like it could have been comfortable. It was comfortable living, but it's not. It's not passion. It's not something. And
Yeah.
it's funny you brought up Father's Day and going down to Lucky's because me and Aaron went to your guys' shop on Father's Day this year.
Okay, yeah.
And I saw how crazy it was.
It was
Oh, it was insane. One of our busiest days. Actually, Mother's Day was the busiest day in the last 12 months, and Father's Day was the second busiest day. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. And the types of flavors you guys are coming up with, is that like kind of just thoughts that pop into your minds and
yeah, well,
maybe this will work?
that was what excited us about it in the first place. Is that you can express your creativity. There's so many things that we love, like the strawberry rhubarb pie. I've always loved strawberry rhubarb pie. Let's make it into a donut, right? So
Yeah.
it's when you sit there and think about it, there's a million flavors. Every dessert you can think of. Next month we're doing tiramisu. Anything you can think of, you can turn into a donut. And so that's the great part about it. There's no limit. There's no limit with the things you can do, and you can always get out there and just express. And sometimes it doesn't work, right?
Yeah.
But more often than not, it does, and
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun when it does work out.
Do you see like more and more like I find that like there was like a donut craze once, so like Voodoo Donuts down in the States opened up because I have a bunch of American friends through wrestling that would always talk about it, even bring boxes up every now and then. But like I noticed that like Vancouver had, I don't know, I think it was Lucky's and was in one other one where they just opened up and the popularity online skyrocketed because it's like really what did we have before? It was Tim Hortons.
Yep, yeah, and that's it. And I'm not going to bash Tim Hortons, obviously, but Cartams, Lucky's, ourselves, it's a very different product than Tim. It's all fresh made, house made, in house every day. Fresh made every day. It's just a completely different product.
Yeah.
And yeah, there was. I guess there's just a demand for it, right? When we love donuts, we're hoping there's something out here, and it's just. I think a lot of people are looking for that kind of business in the community. Just something for fun. You can take your kids. It's not a big commitment. You can get a donut and a coffee for $5, right? So it's a nice, fun thing you can do with your kids. It's not a big time commitment. It's not a big money commitment, but it's impactful, right?
Yeah, it's kind of reminds me of what kind of came to our minds when we got the location here in Poco. Is there wasn't anything like this here. Coquitlam, I grew up in Coquitlam my whole life. Really, it was like if you wanted anything, it didn't matter what it was. That was like small business, but big, if that makes sense. Like it was downtown. It was Vancouver. You had to go downtown. I'm coming from the music industry too, so like going downtown for anything to do with music, paying the really bad parking prices.
Yeah.
Like everything costs so much money, but that's where you had to go. Bringing more and more to the local community, that's huge. And if you're good at what you do, like you guys are, you see that how much success came to you guys so fast, right?
Yeah.
Was it overwhelming?
A little bit,
Yeah.
definitely.
It was quite funny. We didn't really know what we were doing at first, admittedly. So from a perspective of running the business and logistics and timing, so the very first day we opened, we thought, okay, let's show up at 3 a.m. That should give us plenty of time to get everything out by 6 a.m. And by 6 a.m. we weren't halfway ready. It was nuts. So
But we had about 500 people in the lineup waiting for our doors to open that very first day.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
wow.
it
That's
was
amazing.
it was scary.
we had built up a really good following on Instagram for the year prior. So what we'd do is every time we make donuts, we put the word out, hey, we're making donuts. We've got some donuts coming out this Saturday. If anyone's interested, let us know. And people would reach out, oh, can I get a six-pack? Can I get a six-pack?
Wow, nice.
And so, because we had to make donuts anyways, right? Because we were learning and didn't want to throw them all in the garbage. So we'd make a big batch of donuts and just give them away to people. And then people started following us through our Instagram, and then they would tell people, and they would tell people, and they would tell people. So by the time we were opened, we had a really good Instagram following. Well, I shouldn't say really good, but I was very happy with it.
Yeah.
And it created enough of a buzz that was a great way for us to advertise and market our opening. And so by the time we were open, boom, like the first day, yeah, it was lined up across the parking lot. It was amazing.
That's awesome. Now, what did the Doughnut Love name come like through like Instagram? Was it like your your before, like your handle?
No, do you want to tell them the story of Doughnut Love?
Well, it's funny. My sister, my mom, and I, we went down to Nashville, and they have an amazing food scene down in Nashville, and we loved it. We love our drinks, our food, and we went to this place called Biscuit Love, and it was just the whole. It was just a very cool concept, and I was like, wow, like I wish they had places like this back home. And that's kind of where I grabbed the name from. And we're sitting in the car on our way back from Lucky's, and I'm like, what about Doughnut Love? And he's gonna love it. So
and it works on so many levels too. That's the great thing about it. It's fun, it's simple, it's easy, and it just works on so many levels. So it's turned out to be a great name for us, and we're very proud of it.
Yeah, it's crazy that it wasn't taken. It's a very good name.
Well, you know what? DoughnutLove.com, DoughnutLove.ca, it was great. Like all these things were available for us, and we just said that's a sign. When you can
definitely.
get the what do you call it, the internet addresses for the company, there's no trademark on it. We just kept getting these green lights all the way. I just took them as signs, right? Okay, we're moving in the right direction because the doors just keep opening, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah. You guys went the right route because like Instagram with food, I feel like it's probably the biggest thing. Like when it comes to reels or just videos in general, pictures, it's people looking at food, and there's been many nights where I see something. Actually, we follow you guys, and I'm like, we were going away or something, and there was no way. And you guys had, I forget what the specialty donut you guys had going on, but I wanted to go, but I couldn't make it. So like it was late at night, and I see this, I'm like, I'm leaving in the morning. No, like this is. But I find with food, it must be a great tool to use.
Instagram is the best tool for business owners to promote your business, especially for us. It's very visual. So ours is a very visual product. So you put it up there, and we just really copied what all the successful business donut chains were doing in the States. Not the chains, sorry, but the one-offs, the ones. We picked about 10 donut companies from the States that we really like and that we follow on a regular basis. And so we looked at what they were doing. We can really cue into the visuals that they use and how they kind of, you're scrolling, all of a sudden, boom, it catches your eye. What's that? You want to look more, right? And
Yeah.
Instagram is an amazing tool. It's free advertising. You think 20 years ago, what would you have to pay for that kind of advertising with the videos and the photos and everything else? It's amazing.
If you learn how to do it yourself, it can be like the best thing you can do for yourself. Because yeah, even paying for marketing teams, for social marketing teams, like that's a huge job. What people don't realize as business owners, and you guys probably realize it, how much work it actually is. Your social medias accounts is one of the hardest jobs you have as a business owner. Is just how many outlets there are, where you're going to put all your energy into. It turns into a full-time job, website developing. That's another thing. Like a lot of business owners want to do that themselves too. There's so much behind that work that you want to be able to do what you really need to do, but that stuff needs to be done too. But it's so much work.
Yeah, Kat manages all our social media for us. She's really good at it. She's getting better and better at reels and just always playing and trying new things. But no, I think she's done a really good job of managing the social media.
There's so many places that I haven't been. I'm not yet, well versed on TikTok, and I'm not on Twitter, but I'm just trying to focus on kind of learning and growing. And
well, I mean, yeah, honestly, Instagram and TikTok are pretty much the same thing. It's just got a kind of a different audience. But Instagram, I would say for food, is definitely the route you want to go. If you guys got a following there, and also being in, I remember not a small city, but in a city that doesn't have this, you guys are definitely creating this buzz around your product. Do you want to grow? Like, is that your ultimate goal?
Absolutely, yeah, for sure. So the whole idea behind the first store is to create a brand. I want to create a brand, and the brand is high quality product, over the top service. Really, customer service is really important to us. It's kind of a lost art. You don't really see that customer service anymore in a lot of places. So customer service was important to us. Quality product was important to us. And then giving back to the community is one of our those are our three big tenets. It's quality, service, and then giving back. Yeah. And those three things are part of our brand. And so we've done that. We've worked hard to really build and establish a strong brand. But it's hard to build a brand with one store. So that was the idea. Really get the name out there, be associated with quality. So we're going to open up a second and third store is our plan right now. We want to go to PoCo for our second location and get a much bigger kitchen and treat it like a commissary. And then have our third location will sort of be a front of the house with a bathroom. And you can go in and have a coffee, have a donut, but we don't have the expense of building out the kitchen and everything else there. Yeah. And so from the commissary, we'll just ship donuts over every couple of hours and keep our third location stocked. So that's kind of the growth trajectory right now. That's the plan for the time being. And cool. And in the meantime, we're just focusing on store number one and just building that organic growth, right? And trying to build that brand, maintain the quality, and just slowly build that following, right? And so far, so good.
Nice. What would you say is your most popular donut?
The fritter.
fritter?
Oh yeah,
Apple fritter.
absolutely.
Apple fritter, they're huge. Like literally, people show whole videos and they'll hold it up in front of their head, right, as big as your head. But they do, and we make them big on purpose. First of all, I love apple fritters. I love them made a certain way where you can just kind of pull them apart and you get little bits of cinnamon and apple and then glaze and
Yeah.
so that's how we make them. And then we purposely made them big, just because who doesn't love a big fritter? So that's
Yeah.
everybody. The challenge is we can only make so many because we use the scraps from all the donuts that we roll out and cut. It's the scraps from those that we use to make the fritters,
Oh wow.
and then we got to peel and slice and bake the apples as well. And really, we're finding about 50 to 60 apples a day is about our capacity because there's a million other things that we're prepping as well. So we can prep. We can usually find the time. Sorry.
No problem.
We can find the time to do about 50 apples max, and that gives us a fair amount of fritters, but they just go quick, right? So they're the one donut that's somewhat limited. So everybody comes in early and tries to get the fritters, right? But they're very popular.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's another thing I mean to ask. It's all I like to ask about the challenges because business owners are thrown at them all the time. Since the current prices, like you're talking how many apples you guys are going through a day, has it been significant? Like, yeah, the business is growing, but like the cost of everything has been going up.
Definitely, since we've opened, we've seen costs grow. Our employment costs have gone up considerably. There was a shortage on weird and crazy things like plastic cups, on paper products, or on boxes. Many weeks I would get a call from our supplier, and they'll be like, "I'm really sorry, but your box, like we have no boxes." I'm like, okay, we might have to do like BYOB, bring your own box day or something. I don't know, but definitely right now with the environment we're in. So a lot of costs are going up.
We've seen costs go up, food costs, but it's manageable. It's not astronomical. There's slow increments, and we can make minor adjustments along the way. So it's manageable for us, for sure. It hasn't been hugely detrimental for us, let's put it that way.
Yeah, we work with it.
That's good to hear. Yeah, because it's I know it depends on what you're getting. I know a lot of imported stuff is just it's so bad. We obviously we have restaurants in this complex. Yeah, they've seen it. You've seen a lot of prices go up. You've seen a lot of, but I mean, I think everybody's kind of understandable to it all. Everybody knows when they go into the grocery store and sees it. It's pretty rough, but.
Our biggest challenge is our coffee menu is painted on the wall, so we can't just raise our coffee prices because they're painted. So we'll have to wait and then eventually make a change down the road. But no, it's been good, and like everything else, every challenge presents an opportunity, right? And so that just gives us an opportunity to try and be more efficient and try and get more for what we have, right? So, but one thing we never want to do is we never want to compromise on quality. I always think that customers would rather pay more for a donut when you maintain quality, rather pay the same price but get a lower quality product, right? So
100%.
We'll never sacrifice quality. If we do, we'll have to raise our prices, and I think there's good value in what we do, right?
Yeah, I've actually seen that in a lot of different restaurants and stuff that they have to make that decision. It's like either they raise their prices, and some people might be upset about that, or they bring down their quality with less quality goods. And I would definitely choose the first option because. Yeah, I've seen it at numerous places where the quality's gone down, and I think if people are spending their money now, they want to spend their money on quality.
They want good value.
Yeah, because you're spending, you're spending $20-$30 for a family on fast food now, right? It's like, but you can spend an extra $10 and get quality. I think people are going to do that instead of paying that much for McDonald's. Like but like you said, employment rate, like that, paying people. Is gone up significantly. It's looking like it's going to go up again, right? So it's rough. But hey, I notice how much success you guys are having. It's very, very just awesome to see. Early mornings, like I heard 3 a.m. You guys drop that. Is that your day?
Actually, 1 a.m.
1 a.m.
So I'm typically in there at 1 a.m. every day. Just because that's what it takes to get everything done in place to be open for 6. So I go in at 1. I've got a girl that comes in at 2. And then the shift changes at 10, so my second shift starts at 10. I've got another fellow that comes in at 10. He's in 10 till 6. I'm typically there till 3 or 4. Kat comes in around 4 because she's mostly front of the house, so that she doesn't really need to be in as early as we are. But then she stays a bit later too because she stays for clothes. And so it's long hours. But here's anything that any business where you're gonna have success is gonna be a lot of work, right? Yeah. You're not gonna have success with little work. So the way I look at it is that's just the way. Just the way it is. If you want to be successful and enjoy your life, you got to work hard, right?
Yeah. What time do you go to sleep?
I'm usually in bed by 5.
5,
nice. It's funny. The other day we had one of our daughter's friends' parents over, and we're sitting out in the backyard enjoying the sun. And I said, "Well, I got to go to bed and it's 5 o'clock. And
Yeah.
they just looked at me and thought, this is so weird. Like, you're going to bed and it's 5 o'clock in the
Especially
afternoon.
on days like
Yeah,
today.
when the sun is out, full sun in the sky, and I'm going to bed. So
Yeah, but that's commitment, right? Like you always know that bakers have to get up early. But 1 a.m. is another story. But
yeah,
I know, like you guys, I've seen multiple where you guys run out of donuts. You guys are so busy during the day, and
Mm-hmm.
if you're waking up at 1 and by whatever time in the day you guys are out of donuts, making how many donuts are you talking in a day?
so on a busy day, we'll do 12 to 1,500 donuts. On a slow day, we'll do about 600 to 800 donuts.
Wow.
600 would be a very slow day. I don't think we have them, but 800 would be sort of one of our slower days. 1,500 on our busy days. So yeah, it's an incredible amount of donuts.
That's good on you guys, man. That's how long have you had the location?
So 1 year. Actually, we'll take the opportunity. On July 17th, we're having our 1 year anniversary party. So we've been in business for 1 year. It was June 16th. We actually opened up on Father's Day, which is ironic because that was when we had the idea.
Exactly.
And
1 year.
so June 16th was officially 1 year, but we're going to have the actual 1 year anniversary party on the 17th of July. It just gives us, first of all, Father's Day was a busy day. So it gives us a little more time to prepare and get everything in place to have a big fun celebration at the shop.
What's you guys' personal favorites?
Oh gosh, we change our menu every month, so I have a favorite every month, and usually it's like the cream filled donut, the Boston cream he makes is ridiculous, so good.
Yeah.
We have.
I
We usually get inspiration from pie, like a lot of pies. You'll see in the summer we use a lot of fruit, so
Nice.
anything with fruit is usually one of my favorites. Cherry
Cool.
pie.
I like the chocolate chip cookie dough. The chocolate chip cookie dough is my own creation. So I sort of came up with it. It's my own baby, and so I've always loved it. I still love it. It's just it's a fun donut. And who doesn't love fresh house-made chocolate chip cookie dough?
If you don't like that,
Yeah.
you have a problem.
Yeah.
No, that's great. Do you ever like have the temptation of keeping those monthly specials like permanent because they're just so?
People ask us to, but I think that's part of the allure. People, why don't you keep that on the menu? Keep that on the menu. We get that all the time. And I said, here's the thing. Oh no, I love that donut so much. Keep it on the menu. But then the next month you come out with something just as good, and they go, oh wow, no, I love this donut now. Keep this. So you got to keep introducing things. First of all, it keeps it exciting for everybody. Keeps it exciting for us, right? And it's always a new challenge every month. Okay, sometimes we'll put the menu out. Okay, here's our July menu. And it's like, okay, now how are we going to make that donut? Right? Then we have to sit down and figure out how we're actually going to make it and what it's going to look like. The Rocky Road, for example, this month, we put it on the menu. We had no idea how we were going to do it. And then just by fluke, we came up with an idea that we thought would work and we really like it. It's a cool looking donut. It's a lot of fun. The marshmallow is kind of hidden inside, so it's kind of a surprise. Yeah. And it's a lot of fun. So,
you ever go into making like a donut that you actually don't think will work, but it comes out like fantastic?
Not yet. The opposite has happened. I've made donuts that I thought were going to be amazing and people would love, and it's just kind of a meh.
Yeah.
We made a coconut donut, which is quite funny. So it was like a snowball donut. So a coconut donut with a coconut on top.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted it. Put a little chocolate drizzle on top of that coconut, and boom, they're flying off the shelf. It's the craziest thing.
It's the visual appeal.
Yeah,
right?
it really is.
It's everybody like. My dad being one of them, actually, if it's not chocolate, rarely does he want it. Mm-hmm. But if you like just drizzle chocolate on something healthier, like fruit, anything, instantly he's in love with it. So it's just like chocolate, it wins people's hearts pretty fast. Even like my kid, if he sees chocolate on something, definitely gonna want it more than just seeing a strawberry donut.
It's true. Definitely. Although having said that, so you want to have a lot of chocolate in the case, but you don't want to have you want to have a variety of colors. So when someone looks, they see a yellow and a red and a brown and all these different colors, and that kind of creates a nice visual. Mm-hmm. As opposed to, we've had some menus where we realize once you get them all out there in the case, they're all like beige or brown. Like, oh, that's not a lot of visual excitement there, but they all taste great. So that's the caveat.
And I guess it probably, when people go in there and you have all these different choices, different colors, it makes them more likely to buy like half a dozen or a dozen of these things instead of just the one, because you want to try each one. That was my biggest problem. And yeah, I don't even know how many I ate from the box we bought. We brought a few into the office, and yeah, everybody absolutely we're pretty like excited that we were doing a podcast with you guys, because a few have gone since we brought some into the office, and just it's great. Me and Aaron live up in Coquitlam as well. You guys are probably about a 20-minute walk from us, but still, like on a day like today, it'd be nice just to wake up in the morning with the kid and walk down to you guys, because it's a nice vibe in there. It's you guys got coffee too. Everybody needs that, so. Yeah, I can't praise you guys enough. You guys are doing a great job, and the fact that it's only been a year for you guys and this growth and all the positivity and all the just the reviews behind you guys is like that's amazing.
Thank you so
So
much. And it really is. We're so grateful for all the community
Absolutely.
support. The community support has been phenomenal. Even when we were first starting, we were struggling, we hadn't quite figured it out. People were so patient with us. You
yeah.
get the odd person that would come out on social media and say, "Oh, these guys don't know what they're doing," and they would get attacked by people
Oh
saying,
yeah,
"Hey,
yeah,
give these guys a break, cut them a break. That's a new business in Coquitlam. We've got to support." And so we got a ton of supporters,
Yeah,
a ton of advocates. So
amazing.
the community support has been absolutely phenomenal.
yeah. Those when your quality and passion is always going to outweigh those days where there's problems or issues. Those people still understand that, and if you continue to show passion and just show how much you care for what you're putting out there, you're going to have that support no matter what. And then yeah, I just quality. That's all I have to say. Like you go in there and it looks like a gourmet, like you're in a big bakery in like Paris, France, or something. It's gourmet. You know that you're getting like not just a donut. You're getting like love, thought, and passion into it, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And with the community support, the one good thing, if there is any good things about COVID, is it really took sort of a crisis and turned it into an opportunity in that
Yeah.
everybody all of a sudden wanted to support local.
Yeah,
It went to this whole mantra of support local, and that was hugely beneficial for
yeah,
us, right? So that was one of, COVID was a challenging on many different levels
yeah.
and for a lot of businesses, but well, we benefited from the whole support local and the fact that we were fast service in and out. And so it was people said one of Kat's uncles told us we're crazy to start a business during COVID, but it worked out really well for us.
Yeah, it's yeah. I think it really depends on how you look at it. I saw a lot of people like became members here, or just like that we spoke to that left. A lot of people either whether they got laid off,
Mhm.
companies closed down, or just not liking what they were doing anymore. COVID kind of like sprouted this entrepreneurial spirit in people where it's like, let's try this thing I've always loved doing. We saw it with like even getting equipment for this place for podcasting. People got laid off. What did they start doing? They were like podcasting, just trying these new things out. So I think like there was a lot of people trying to start businesses and getting called crazy because they're doing it during a time that really it was crazy. But if you can succeed, then
All the people that want to wait until the conditions are perfect, well, they're now just getting ready to start today. But everybody else that got started during the pandemic, look at where we are, right? So you're so much further ahead. And then everybody looks at that and says, well, I'm not going to start now, right? The conditions are great, but everybody else has such a head start that it's too late. So
yeah,
that's the best time to get, I think, into a business, and in that environment.
yeah, 100%. So I know like a lot of our listeners probably know about you guys because yeah, we've promoted on our social media just the day we got your box of donuts and yeah, but we really want more people to know about you guys. So like, where can they find you online? Whether it be like your website, social media accounts.
So doughutlove.ca is our website, and you can spell that DOUGHNUT, which is how we spell it,
Yeah.
or just DONUT. Doughutlove.ca, either one will take you to our website.
Cool.
Instagram, we have a gentleman that manages our website for us, and that's typically our menu. We do most of our promotions through Instagram, which again is doughutlove.ca. Keep it simple. Everywhere you go, doughutlove.ca across the board, right? So
Yeah.
we're easy to find online.
And our
That's
website is where you can go to online ordering, so you can put your order in advance if you want to pick up at a certain time or date, and be
Pre-order-
sure you're going to grab your donuts.
Pre-order is the way to go. A lot of people come in and, oh, you're sold out, and they're so disappointed. And we say, listen, just pre-order. We'll have a box ready for you. You can walk in and grab your box, right?
Yeah, that's good to know.
And
Good
we're
to
on
know. Yeah, I just
Uber
learned
Eats.
something. Yeah, because there's so many days that like it's almost like not an afterthought, but it's like having a kid. It's chaotic. So like in the morning, it's like by the time I even think about getting up to you guys, I'm like, you're probably sold out of like a good amount because there's been a couple days where it's like literally sold out. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I just missed it. But yeah, online ordering definitely. That's especially on I guess specific holidays and stuff. It's definitely the way.
Like Canada Day, for example. Canada Day, we're going to close at noon.
Yeah.
And the reason being is we've learned on some of those days, everybody comes in early, gets their donuts, and then has plans for the day.
Yeah.
So we're going to close at noon, busy all morning, and then in the afternoon we're gone. But that's one of those days it's good to pre-order or come in early because we will definitely be selling out on Canada Day, no doubt.
Cool. Well, I think it's been about a half an hour,
Okay.
so we'll wrap this one up. But you said something about a new special donut for next month? Did you kind of drop it? Did you guys say? What
Well,
was it?
tiramisu is coming out next
Tiramisu.
month. So
Okay,
tiramisu, and then I think next month is blueberry month. So we're gonna have a lot of blueberry stuff. on the
Blueberry
menu as well.
fritter. Yeah,
Awesome.
that's going to be crazy.
Sounds good.
Yeah, and just one last quick plug. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
Just want to get it out there that everything we do is all made fresh in house. So our pastry creams, our chocolate, nothing comes out of a can, nothing comes out of a bucket. We make it fresh every day, and that's I think that's part of the reason for our success is that everything that we do is fresh, made that day or the night before to be used that day. So it's a different experience than just opening up a bucket and dipping your donut in something out of a bucket and throwing it on the counter.
Yeah, you can tell too. It's quality. It's extremely you can eat donuts from other places and you feel like you had a sugar overload and you feel like garbage afterwards. Like I said, I don't even know how many of your guys' donuts I ate. I felt like good afterwards. Like it's you can tell the quality ingredients. Doesn't matter if it's sweet. Like if it's quality, it's not preserved.
Yeah, they're a treat, but they're whole foods. Like they're really egg, sugar, butter, flour, and milk.
Yeah.
That's really all there is, right? So they're whole foods. I'm not going to go as far as to say they're healthy foods. They're whole foods, pardon the pun, but they are really.
That's awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for coming in today. And
Thanks for having us.
everybody,
Absolutely.
for
Thank
coming
you.
in, or for listening to another episode of PoCommunity. I am Mike Arboit. They are Kat and Clint Hiles from Doughnut Love. Check them out, doughutlove.ca, and just, up on Como Lake in Coquitlam. Amazing. You guys won't regret it. Thank you for joining us.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.